Got it.
Dude, look at what I'm wearing today, dude.
Nice. I gotta get one of those. I was just thinking that. That's awesome. For Superman.
Dude, look at what I'm wearing today, dude.
Nice. I gotta get one of those.
Let me turn that down.
Yeah. Mutiny.
All right, we're now streaming. Let's put this away. Can you see the chat okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Then I'm going to put my chat. I'm going to put mine away. I don't like having my chat out in public.
You're thinking chode.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. And we are live and we are recording. The time is 8:03.
8:03 on the dot. 3 o'clock on the dot. Time to cruise an eighth grader.
Welcome. Welcome to episode 78 of the Thrash Report. This is for February 23rd, 2022. This is your weekly music commentary podcast where we discuss all things metal and heavy music. My name is Chris, and joining me, my co-host, Jim Osborne. Jim, what's going on, man?
I'm awake. I was awake yesterday. I was waiting for you, and I had to leave because you never showed up.
Okay, so yes. Yesterday we had, I wanted to say technical difficulties, but really it was just a matter of, it's just the fact that I must be sleep deprived because the minute I laid down after work, out like a light. So yeah, I woke up, about 8:30 or so, looked at my phone, saw that Jim had texted me several times. My apologies to the Thrashers and the supporters of the Thrash Report that, I fell asleep. So that was the issue.
Yep, I texted you yesterday morning. Hey, should we record tonight? Let's do it. Send out a post, 4 or 5 o'clock, and let everybody know we're going live at 8. And then you texted back like 8:30. Yeah. Sorry, dude, I owe you. Like, well, you can go comment on all our posts and say, oops.
Yes. So I will say this is actually a real thing. Like I have, not that I'm oversharing, but I have seen a couple docs and I've talked to a sleep specialist, and we have a treatment plan in place for me to get proper sleep. So it is something that I've been fighting with probably, 3 years now,
right,
where my sleep is just all over the place. So I learned something. So this last sleep specialist I saw, the human, we actually build up something called sleep pressure.
Oh yeah.
And the sleep pressure can accumulate over time. So if you don't have the quality sleep that you need, eventually you lay down and out like a light. So my apologies to everybody. And we're getting better. I bought some Rockstar energy drinks for today. So it'll be good.
Just start a band and call it Narcolepsy.
That's right. Dude, so again, thank you everybody for your patience, as last week, again, we had a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, we have our day gigs, we have family and kids and sports, and so totally get it, and we appreciate everyone's flexibility as we try to get this out every week. We know that every now and then we're going to miss one. So, but you can always interact with us on social. We try to follow up when there's new releases and things like, different tracks, different things drop. We'll try to post them into our social feeds. So we're still around. So
yeah,
we had a jam-packed episode today, Jim.
Well, yeah, lots of stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. Some big news, some great concerts.
You can get one of these fancy things. You can get one of these. You could have your beverage of choice a Thrash Report coffee mug. I should get pint glasses up on the store. You think people would buy pint glasses?
I think so.
All right. Note to self: get Thrash Report pint glasses on the store. I'm on it.
Maybe some boots to go with it.
Ooh.
Big. What are they, like a gallon? Those huge glass boots.
Yes. So, dude, so let's jump into headlines because we got some awesome stuff to talk about, and I'm just excited to get to the new releases, as well as the concert calendar because we got some fun stuff to talk about there, past and upcoming. And then we go back 30 years for back in the day, and then we have a brand new. And today in the day, we jump to an album that came out, an EP that dropped in 2021. That is killer. All right. Ready to bounce? What do we got, Jim? What's the first story of the day?
I saw it today, which is February 23rd. And it is the 30th anniversary of Anthrax on Married with Children when that episode aired.
30 years ago. Wow. Time flies, man.
For sure. Yeah, that's I know we've talked about it before, but it's obviously my favorite episode of that show because it's Anthrax. But
heck yeah. It was well, and it was super fun too, just listening to a lot of the going through the 40th anniversary of Anthrax. That was kind of a pinnacle moment for them as well, and hearing the stories and pretty fun stuff. So I can't believe that happened 30 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, and then next up we've got a very cool teacher, and she's a music teacher, and she was trying to teach some music, and she found one of her students just was not listening or not paying attention, not really into it.
Yeah, not really getting it. These fifth graders. So I like what she did though. She brought it around to music that they were into. Check this out. This is pretty amazing.
In metal. That's okay. Heavy metal. Listen, heavy metal is going to have meter too. Like, what bands do you like in heavy metal? Slipknot. Okay, so let's sing a Slipknot song. A lot of Slipknot. I like Slipknot. Like, Snuff is a slow song, but okay. Count the meter. That's not the words, but it's the tune. What meter is that in? Four. Slipknot follows the meter.
See, how cool is that? I like how she brought it around and gets the kids engaged. It's, it's what we call, we're inspiring the learner, and it's just super rad. So I thought that was an awesome story. I appreciate you sharing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure that kid was just elated and has got a little bit more of appreciation for music class now. It's just her singling him out like that and saying, all right, well, you're not into this. What do you like? And made it work. So nice job. That's
absolutely
awesome.
Very cool. So shout out to that teacher. And again, we'll have links to that story and her TikTok account in the show notes.
Yeah. Going from metal in the school to metal in the sports arenas.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that was a track that you mentioned is getting some pretty good rotation on XM. Let's go ahead and talk about these guys.
Yeah, so that was the Detroit Red Wings playing Lorna Shores to the Hellfire at their game, which I don't think they intended, but they had to cancel the game because the ice melted.
What? Oh, that was a joke. I got
so hot.
Dude, I'm an idiot. No, dude, that was awesome.
I'm just tired.
That was very cool.
Yeah, so it's just metal getting out there, and I don't see it more and more at sports events and stuff. So I know it's all over the place with football and stuff, but cool seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. And To the Hellfire, on Spotify alone, the song is closing in on 13 million streams, which is crazy for any band, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that the other day too, how popular that song's getting. And I don't know, it's a very interesting ending when, as Jose says, the dude turns into an animal and just starts growling. And I don't know, it's pretty cool what the human voice can do.
Hells yeah. So this next story is it's interesting. So we don't really talk a lot about the Foo Fighters. I mean, they're rock, but something interesting happened. So we know that but we know that Dave Grohl, I mean, he grew up with metal, grew up with thrash. We know he's a fan of thrash. And the interesting thing is that knowing that Foo Fighters also have music coming out this week, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. Also, they recorded under the name Dream Widow, a Full Metal album for the movie.
That's awesome.
Isn't that just rad, dude? So yeah, I'm super stoked. Now I've only heard this one track, March of the Insane. I don't know. I guess I don't know exactly, is the full album out with the movie? Is it out now? I don't know.
I haven't heard. I just have heard that one song as well. I would assume they'd release about the same time. Makes sense too.
Yeah, I'm excited. It sounds pretty badass. Again, we shared that to our social the day it dropped. Yeah, I'm excited to see this movie. It'll be good.
Yeah, and straight from the comments section on the story that I found this at, quote, Dave Grohl hasn't done shit since Kurt Cobain.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say the Foo Fighters are fairly successful.
Yeah, just a tad. Oh, too funny.
Yeah, and then keeping it with movies, we go to a documentary called Total Thrash, Teutonic Story. So I haven't seen much information about this. I know it's coming out soon. We've talked about the band Traitor, and apparently they're featured pretty heavily in it. I would assume by interviews and probably footage of them playing, but it sounds like it's probably just about the new wave of German thrash metal. I'm not sure if it goes all the way back to the German Big Four, but I'm hoping to be able to see that. I'm assuming they'll have subtitles so I can understand them.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research on it. It does go back a little bit of kind of the 90s, kind of the fall of thrash in the 90s, kind of the resurgence. There's interviews with bands like Creator and some others as well, but everything I could find was all in German. So didn't know what they were saying. Sounded intelligent, but I don't know what they were saying. So, but yeah, so this movie called Total Thrash, they've actually had to postpone the scheduled release for the movie out till May. So May 31st this year. Put that date in your calendar for the release. Now it will be a German-wide cinema and club tour. Don't know if that'll be something that will be in theaters here or you'll get it on DVD after or streaming. But yeah, look for your release of the documentary Total Thrash, the resurgence of new wave of German thrash metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some Judas Priest news.
Dude, this is crazy. So here's the thing. Well, there's a little rift going on, right? So there's been a long kind of running war of words between, KK and Glenn and, ever since KK left Judas Priest. And I just found this really interesting that finally now they actually talked to Guitar World, talked to Glenn, and we get some kind of, firsthand what is actually going on. And I just thought this was crazy because, the band's been around for 41 years, right? And so Glenn Tipton went on to say that he never wanted to really get into a public argument when KK left. And he tells Guitar World in a brand new interview that, I never said a word and I stuck to the guns for over 10 years. But there comes to a point when you read things that just sound crazy. And it's time that I really had to say something. So basically, he insinuated that KK had insinuated that he was the driving force of the band, which Glenn said it just isn't true. Priest has always been made up of 5 guys working together. There's never just been one guy driving the band. And so I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? It's just crazy. Just crazy. So yeah, it will never end. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't read KK's book. I know that a buddy of mine, Gao, Iganin Gao, I don't know if he's in the chat today, but I know he's read the book. But I'm curious to see his side of things. And now we get to finally hear what Glenn says. That's bullshit. He was no driving force in the band.
Yeah.
I guess some people, they get a big head and that's what they think is going on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to keep your mouth shut for that long, knowing that.
10 years, right? Oh, man. So I think now it's a good time to jump into some new releases. And we're going to start with this. Oh, God damn it.
Cut.
Brand new EP drops yesterday on 2/22/22 by our friends Tornadic.
Yes.
Pretty awesome, bro. I'm super stoked. Again, we not only were we sharing the piss out of this, but I saw on social that Tornadic got a big shout out. That you want to really reveal who that shout out was?
Yeah, they posted last night. Mr. Art Cruz, Lamb of God.
I mean, that's pretty awesome, man.
2.5 minutes worth of praise from Art Cruz to Tornadic is pretty awesome and so well deserved. As anybody listening or our listeners know that we don't really have to say anything about Tornadic right now because we've said it all, I think. But redundancy is fine too. But
yeah,
great band.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, definitely going places. Talented group of guys. And I definitely think that go grab that wherever you can. And again, it's streaming now. So go check out the new EP, killer tracks, and you won't be disappointed for sure.
Yep, they redid their song they've had out for a few years, When You're in the Pit, and it just sounds clear. And speaking of sound, I mean, the whole EP done by Carlos Cruz, great work. I mean, it's one of the best sounding metal albums I've heard in a long time, I think.
Yeah, just awesome. Just very, very cool.
Kind of got me thinking about Carlos Cruz. Is there a kind of a bigger, more influential person on modern thrash than Carlos?
Good point.
Playing drums everywhere. He's drummer for Warbringer. He writes a lot of the music for Warbringer, plays guitar, writes a lot of the guitar for Warbringer. He's played drums in Ex Mortis. for a while, producing and mixing or stuff. I mean, seems like he's everywhere and awesome at what he does. So I wanted to throw that out there. If somebody can think of a more influential person on modern thrash, then Carlos Cruz, let me know, because there might be someone out there I just can't think of. So let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it. Hear it in the comments for sure.
And thanks to Tornadic for sending us CDs of their new EP. We appreciate that.
Thank you, man. That's awesome. That was definitely, I was surprised and delighted today when I went to the mailbox. So pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And they addressed it Mr. Chris Luger, which I guess no one ever calls me Mr. So I felt important. It was really great.
I think you mean my dad. He's Mr.
That's right. Hey, we just got done talking about this, but I want to go ahead and talk about new releases. Studio 666 that comes out this Friday. And this is the legendary rock band Foo Fighters. They move into this Encino mansion that is steeped in grisly rock and roll history to record their much anticipated 10th album. And once they're in the house, our buddy Dave Grohl finds himself grappling with a supernatural force that threatens both the completion of the album and the lives of the band. I know, right?
Foo Fighters! You gotta get me a record.
It's our 10th album. We gotta break the mold on this one.
Up top.
Let's go somewhere we've never been.
This place is amazing.
Do you guys get this overwhelming sense of death? Whoa. Doesn't really seem like the right fit. Whoa, that's rad. That was weird. The sound of this house is the sound of album 10.
It's going to be great. Nice. So, yeah, Kerry King is in it. Whitney Cummings is in there.
Is that your Jeff Garland in the beginning?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So it'll be a fun flick. I think that if it drops on Friday, that means I might be able to see it tomorrow, Thursday night. Typically, we can get in to a screening. Yeah, it kind of bums me out. Our local movie theater here to us, they closed up. Kind of bums me out.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know. I actually, in all seriousness, I actually reached out. I tried to. I want to buy it. I wanted to buy it and run it. And apparently the current owner isn't in a hurry to sell it because they're just taking their own sweet time and getting me the info I need. But so
that would be awesome if you did, and then you can show a bunch of metal shit
all the time. So that was going to be the plan, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, man. So let's again, I think it'll be a great fun. I want to remind everybody, in case you guys, it is rated R. So the movie has some strong bloody violence and gore, some very persuasive language, and I hate to say it, but there's sexual content in there as well. But I know.
So it is a horror comedy.
Hate to disappoint everybody.
It'll be scary funny.
Oh, too funny, man.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
And this next release too.
Dude, so this next one.
Teutonic Meadow.
Is this where, and of course my controls aren't loading when they should. Why don't you go ahead and let it rip? What's this next? We have a trailer for this new one coming out February 24th.
Yeah, a song called No Faith in Humanity by Destruction, the legendary Destruction. So I think we mentioned a few weeks ago that they're working on something, but now they have a date.
Dude,
tomorrow.
Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. That's tomorrow, bro.
It's tomorrow, bro.
Dude, I'm stoked. So awesome.
Oh, yum.
Very cool. Very cool. Dude, this next one has like it has like a million guest people in it.
Yeah. We've mentioned the band Crisix before, and they've got a new song and video out, WNM, World Needs Mosh. I'm guessing what it stands for. But WNM United with guests. And it's kind of a thrash all-stars thing, new wave of thrash all-stars. And they got members of Dustbolt, Insanity Alert, Warbringer, Violator, Suicidal Angels, Fueled by Fire, Gamma Bomb, Bonded by Blood, Nervosa, Angelus Apatrida, and special guest Chuck Billy.
Crisix, Agent 57. Find more thrashers. The world needs more mosh.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and from Bonded by Blood, our friend Jose Morales is in there, and he's looking like a total badass.
Super fun. So yeah,
it's an awesome deal.
Yeah. Do we have is there a release date for the actual album, or are we? I don't see it.
I know of.
Yeah, I don't see it in the story. So right now we have the new this new track called "The World Needs More Mosh."
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. So this next one, actually, I saw in one of our YouTube or one of our Facebook groups, and the band was called Psychotic, and they have a brand new track after basically kind of sitting out for 5 years. They've been on kind of hiatus, so they're back with a brand new single called "Skinned Alive." These guys are from Turkey. Let's go ahead and give these guys a check out. Definitely have like an old school thrash feel to them. Again, I don't know too much about them. I just discovered them now. So this track is pretty badass. Again, the track's named Skinned Alive, out now wherever you get your streaming music. Again, it's Psychotic. And of course, the T in Psychotic is an inverted cross because they're evil.
I like.
Yeah, dude, very cool. This next one I want to talk about, we've talked a lot about how I'm a Jeff Waters and Annihilator fan. They actually went back and they re-recorded. So there was an album that came out, I think, in 2007 called Metal 2. And now what they've done is they've gone back into the studio. They re-recorded a bunch of these kind of older tracks. But the interesting thing is that they have tons and tons of guests on this album, including Alexi from Children of Bodom, and they recruited Stu Block as vocals on these tracks, and absolutely is just kills it, and it's pretty awesome. I've been listening to the entire album. Came out last Friday. Listened to the entire album all week. There's a bunch of other guests on there as well. Lips is a guest from Anvil on the track, but there's a whole bunch of other people on there too. Dave Lombardo plays drums and some tracks as well. Let's go ahead and give this first song a listen. Just absolutely crushes. This is Annihilator. Dude, love it. And it's one of those bands where, you know, you can almost, I mean, it's a little different now with Stu singing, but it's like you hear the solos and you hear the styling, like, you know, it's them, right? It's one of those bands where you hear it and it's like, sounds like Annihilator. And yeah, it's Annihilator. So check out the new re-release of Annihilator Metal 2, 11 tracks re-recorded with Stu Blocks on vocals and tons of other guests. So wicked fun time on that release too. So this next one is a brand new single from a band called Kamala, and it's actually a Brazilian thrash band formed in 2003. And I have never heard of these guys before. Formed in 2003, looks like they had like 7 or 8 releases. They really kind of they mix like some Oriental harmonies with our, you know, the energy that we have from like the metal stuff, but they also kind of break free from like the usual patterns and stylings that you typically would get. And they started to tour outside of Brazil and really became like, they've done like 6 different European tours since 2013. And that was without any label support as well. So it's absolutely killer. And this new single that they dropped is called Duka, and that's Dukka. And again, the band's name is Kamala.
We fall, but we still follow. We live in tomorrow. We'll rise, we'll fight. Get stronger with pain. Like air.
Like vocals come in, you're kind of like early Sepultura.
Could be.
A little bit.
I'm seeing more and more bands from Brazil.
Yeah,
recently.
totally.
Awesome.
And what's crazy to me too is I was actually a little shocked after, so I listened to it a few times, then I actually went and got the video for to add to our playlist for today's for the episode. Didn't realize the drummer is female. Like cool. you don't, yeah, I mean, often you don't see them riding the double bass like that. Yeah, I was like, wow, just killer, you know? So pretty amazing. It looks like it's a 3-piece too. So it's this power trio, bass player doing vocals. So again, cool. Name of the band is called Kamala, Kamala. We'll have links in the show notes.
Very nice.
Awesome. So we're on to concert calendar, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Yeah, a couple things I want to talk about. So first of all, I want to talk about a couple weeks ago, I went and saw Bruce Dickinson do his spoken word deal. And I got to tell you, a lot of fun. Cool. Yeah, Bruce Dickinson is such an animated and just brilliant storyteller. He had some slides, basically him talking. He had a handful of photos behind him. Again, not a lot, but it was really great because he basically condensed down into an hour and a half. They did like almost 2 halves of the show. They did him kind of doing a talk of basically him growing up, going to school, you know, his family, and then, you know, first starting out and trying out and playing in bands, and all the way up until when he joined Iron Maiden, and, you know, all the things he did in between, right? Fencing, you know, getting his pilot's license, having a full-time job as a commercial airline pilot, where he would go on leave when he went on tour. And he did that, getting, you know, thousands and thousands of hours of flying in. And then they did a break, and then he would come back and do Q&A from the crowd. So they had these boxes around the crowd, and people could ask questions, and they would kind of curate those questions. So it was really a great show. But I think what was really cool is just hearing him talk through his story, he's funny, he's witty, relevant and topical. Some of the jokes were with the current climate today, the political climate or whatever. But then also it's just, he's super smart. And also, listening to him go through, cancer treatment and just, the way he just perseveres, right? I mean, he just does so many things. It's pretty awesome. And he talks about, just being a business owner, talking about, how many barrels of Trooper beer are sold, and then in all these things. So it's just really remarkable seeing that, he does all these things, and that, I don't know, I was really inspired after seeing it. Right. So super fun show. If you get a chance to see Bruce Dickinson in your town, I highly recommend it. It was super fun. Cool. And then last weekend, I got to see Dream Theater, which was, again, it's always super cool. They're just such a brilliant live band. I can't even explain how awesome it is seeing them live. It was an interesting show because they played like 4 or 5 tracks from their brand new album, View from the Top of the World, and which I wasn't super familiar with. Like, I mean, I've listened to a handful of tracks, and then they played the other tracks. First of all, their songs are super long. They only played like 10 tracks the entire show, right? And they and
5 were new.
Yeah, right. And then the other tracks were deeper tracks. So, I recognize them, but they're not like the hits. So it was interesting, but it was super fun to see. They just, again, super inspiring. The band that opened for them, I had never heard of them, called like Arch Echo, or ARCH Echo. Instrumental, highly technical, right? And wow, they blew me away. Like, just absolutely amazing. I mean, would you call them metal? Maybe not necessarily, but absolutely impressive. They had some heavier riffs, but it was amazing. And what was really cool too is that it looked like their family was front row. Like the one guy's mom was in the front row. So it was pretty fun to see. Yeah. And anyway, so that was a great review of a show. Like I said, it was amazing. So I'm glad I got to see him. So
really cool. Yeah, and if you go back to, I don't know what episode it was, but I think probably back in July 2021, we had some members of Squid Hammer on.
Yes, sir.
And Jake Schultz is the host of Dime Stock. We talked about it when he was on, but he has been putting out flyers and ads for bands for the next Dime Stock, the 11th annual Wisconsin Pantera tribute. And it's going to be August 26th through the 28th. And I think if I remember correctly, the 26th would be a Friday. It would be arrival, set up your camp, and a big party. And then the music is on the Saturday. And then Sunday, you sober up and go home. He says he's gotten so much buzz from this year, more than any year he's ever had. It's usually a couple hundred people, but he's getting bands from local coming in like crazy, Canada, Germany, and others from around the world. So it's, I've tried to go to it the last 3 years, I think, and something always comes up, but it's on my calendar right now. So
yep, and
I'm going.
And this year there may be a podcast actually participating and possibly sponsoring Dime Stock. Who could that be, Jim?
Big things coming soon.
Big things coming soon. So we'll see. But yes, Gemini,
the twins,
Jim and I will be at Dime Stock. And remind people where that is, Jim. Where in Wisco?
I believe it's Watertown, Wisconsin, which is, I think, between Madison and Milwaukee.
Awesome. So yeah, it'll be fun time. I'm looking forward to being there. I've heard awesome things, and so it'll be a great time.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Jose Mangan to come too. I told him about it. He thought it sounds pretty awesome, and he said that he would promote it, but I got to work on him to get him to come in person. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, let's go ahead. Hey, you never know. I can use some miles. Maybe we can get him, if I can get him a free flight out here, maybe.
Okay, might work.
We'll see.
Yeah, and then I did see a flyer quickly. The band Psychostick is coming to the Twin Cities at the Caboose on June 4th. And that would be interesting. They're a fun band.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time. They've been around a long time, haven't they?
Yeah,
I mean, that's from high school. I mean, I remember them from high school. That's like 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while. And then
Dude,
I saw one.
well, it's funny. Speaking of high school, this is funny. So they sent out our class of 92 group on Facebook, sent out a thing saying that they're planning their reunion. What would it be? Would it be a 35th reunion, right? How old am I? I'm 48. Anyway, so they 30th reunion. Anyway, they posted like the giant class picture. So it's like the entire senior class. Mm-hmm. And it was all our class colors. So everyone was wearing red and white throughout the entire photo, except for the 12 metal dudes in the corner all wearing black. So yeah, I feel like, hey, there's me.
Yep. Awesome. And this week I saw an advertisement for a show that I would love to go to. It's called The Dead Will Rise Again. And it's kind of a modern day thrash reunion. Some bands that are coming back from the dead.
Nice.
It's headlined by Evil Dead, followed by got Ex Mortis, Bonded by Blood, Fueled by Fire, and Velocity.
That's awesome.
That would be a killer show. I've seen a lot of people talking about it online, and I told them they need to make a tour out of that thing. Come over here.
That's in Pomona, California.
Yep, the Glass House. And what was the date of it?
May 27th.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know where Pomona is. I gotta look at a map.
It's west of here.
Yeah.
Way west. Yeah. So if you're in LA, check that out.
The Dead Will Rise Again. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So with trivia, wait a minute. Stump me. What does this mean? I'm reading this note. What's this mean?
Well, we talked about the Red Wings having Lorna Shore play.
Yeah.
And we've probably talked about this before. It's probably an easy question, but who did the Dallas Stars have make a song for them to come out to?
I mean, it has to be Pantera, right?
It's Pantera. Yep.
But what's this Anthrax deal? What's this all about?
Yeah, we talked about them being on Married with Children, and then see if you remember from Scott's book, he said that Anthrax really wanted to be on what show, but they ended up on Married with Children.
Oh, shit.
Metallica made it onto the show. Not Anthrax.
I don't remember, man.
The Simpsons.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. That was good.
Simpson.
That's very cool, dude. I thought of you when like around the holidays, you could get basically you send like a family photo and they Simpsonize you. They make you a family photo out of the Simpsons, like sitting on the sofa. Dude, that'd be hilarious. You should totally have a family photo of the Simpsons.
That would be fun.
So let's jump back in the day.
Yes.
We're gonna go back 30 years to this 2, 1 now. Oh my god, it's kicking me in the nuts. Dude, I remember like watching this video like 1,000 times. Like,
yeah.
Why is it so good?
Such a rip.
and this is actually one of the tracks that I use. Like this one, I had this one relationship I was in. This woman, we were dating for like a year and a half. But I remember like when we first started dating, we were talking about what music she's into, like Fall Out Boy and some of the other stuff, right? And she's like, what music I'm into, and this video is one typically that I would show to kind of set the stage. Like, this is my music, because it's just so fucking good.
You can't handle this. There's the door.
There's the door.
I don't think we've had this album as one of our back in the days. If we have, I don't care. I don't know. Whenever I think about, or someone asks, what's your favorite album of all time? This is the first one I always think of. I can just listen to it over and over. I have every song on it rocks. There's not a single bad moment on this entire album.
No. Yeah. Just very, very cool. Yeah. Vulgar Display turns 30 in a couple days. Long live Vinny and long live Dimebag. Again, Pantera will go down in history as, again, I mean, not only just an awesome metal band, but a metal band that really kind of helped redefine a genre back in the early 90s, right?
Yeah, and you watch the Get Thrashed or the documentary Get Thrashed, and they say there's really only one metal band in the 90s, and that was Pantera. I mean, there was metal bands, but as far as their stature and like what they hit, I mean, Metallica was there, but Pantera was, I mean, they were the 90s as far as metal goes for me.
Yep.
Kind of a gateway to heavier stuff for me too. Like I'd mentioned before, many episodes ago, how I was into Metallica, Ozzy, Anthrax, and then my friend showed me Vulgar Display of Power. I think he started with Walk. Just within the first few seconds, like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was one of them. So was that your intro to Pantera then? Then you went back and got Cowboys? Okay.
And then, so I became a fan between Vulgar Display of Power and Far Beyond Driven. I remember getting Far Beyond Driven when it came out on tape. Didn't have a CD player yet.
Sure. No, I remember, and I'm sure I've already talked about this, but my introduction was when, my buddy would record Headbangers Ball for me. And so I would get the VHS every week. And I remember being, downstairs at my dad's watching this week's Headbangers Ball. Typically I'm always delayed because I got to get the tape, but I remember watching it and the song Cowboys from Hell came on and I was like, what is, like, it absolutely blew my mind. This guy jumping around with this long mohawk and shit, and the guitar sound, the tone was just like, oh my God, like this is something that just blows me away. And the rest is history. So
yep. And my favorite Pantera song is on this album. My probably favorite riff of all time is from that song, and it's Regular People.
Oh yeah, Deceit.
Oh, so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Vulgar Display of Power.
Most regular people would say it's hard. Streetwise, son of a bitch knows. Don't fuck with this.
Don't fuck with this.
So
actually, I think on my Facebook feed yesterday, maybe it was today even, I posted a video of me playing Regular People.
Nice.
But I said, I'm kind of shy about this stuff. It's kind of my first time playing. And then I pulled out my guitar, my Dimebag one, Vulgar Display of Power. That's the one I bought from War Machine Marketing. So it's the scale tiny little one with fake guitar. So I just played the whole song on that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so great, dude. You're funny. That's awesome. So, this next one, now we're going to jump forward to today in the day, this new wave of thrash, and a band that we have talked about in the past. And I just wanted to make sure that we look at this EP from 2021 called 48 Hours Till Termination by the band from Deer Park, New York. And they just announced the release of they have another EP coming out this April.
Yep, I saw today that they we're releasing the date of their new EP, which I believe is April 20th. I know it's April. I think it's 20th.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Very cool.
Yeah.
So this track is called Electrocutioner from their EP last year. And let's go ahead and give this a roll. Oops, sorry. I like that riff, dude. Like an odd time. Very cool. I like that. So Electrocutioner, which again, it's kind of badass name, right? Yep. Electrocutioner, their EP 48 Hours Till Termination came out last year, and we have a brand new one coming out in another month. Awesome, dude.
Yeah, I want to thank Extinction AD for introducing me to them. They played live with them a few times a few months ago, end of last year. So I saw Extinction AD sharing all their posters for tours and saw Electrocutioner on there, so I checked them out. So
that's awesome.
Very cool.
And where did you hear about this next one? This band called Violent Definition.
That was on the Facebook group New Wave of Thrash Metal and Violent Definition. Yeah, they posted their album, and I went back and forth with them a little bit talking about their album cover because it looked like it was Alec Baldwin shooting himself in the face.
Oh God.
Apparently it was not modeled after him.
Dude, oh my gosh, that just reminded me. I was driving somewhere. I helped a friend move last weekend. So I was out west of the cities, and I drove by this like little shop, and a giant sign out front said Alec Baldwin shops here. I don't know why. I thought it was funny. I'm like, what? Anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah. So let's go. So this is Lethal Presence by Violent Definition.
Gotcha.
I did that. This is something that came out. Let's see. This album came out in 2018, and they're from Greece. They formed in 2008. Is that correct?
Yep. And the album is called Life Sentence.
Nice. Violent Definition. And again, we get links to all of these in this week's playlist up on YouTube. Make sure you check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Dickhead. Check it out. And you know what? We got some, I'm not sure. Is that a comment from a listener or something that says this next band effing rules?
Well, it's just me in our comments or follow-up section. I didn't have anything else. And when I'm exercising and stuff, I throw on my thrash playlist, or I just start with
when you band and then when you what? Hold on. When you're what?
Exercise.
What's that?
Exercise the demons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I gotta get on that.
Yep. So I throw on Apple Music and just pick a band or a song. And look down, it keeps coming back.
This is the band Dustbolt.
Yes, Germany. Okay.
Dust Bolt, Trapped in Chaos. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they're awesome. That's a band that I discovered. I think one of the very first times you and I met, you were wearing a Dust Bolt shirt. And I was like, dude, who's that? And you're like, check them out. And so that's where I discovered them. So.
Yeah. And like I said, they keep showing up on my random, and every time it comes on, like, this is awesome. And then they start singing, and I just know those vocals, and it's Dust Bolt. I just want to remind everybody that they're freaking awesome. Check them out. And that's all I got.
Very cool. Well, dude, that about wraps it up. And we've been yakking for an hour, dude. I want to thank everyone for listening. We really do appreciate it. Make sure that you, like our stuff, subscribe to our stuff, follow our podcast. Please leave a review in the podcast at Apple Podcasts. We really would appreciate it. Share. What really would help us is share with your friends and family, man. If you know somebody that listens to metal, hey, man, tell them to go check it out. You go to a show, go to a live show, just lean over to the guy next to you and say, hey, you listen to metal, check this podcast out. We really, really appreciate it. Make sure you send us an email, thethrashreport@gmail.com. You can find archives of all of our episodes and show notes at thrashreport.com. We would love to hear from you. You got something that you listen to or something that you're like comes up on your playlist as random and you're like, oh, I remember those guys from 20 years ago. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Jim? What do we know?
Been a good time.